she turns around and says, oh my gosh, like how does that even happen? Like, how do you do that? I'm surprised your scalp didn't fall off. What? My scalp didn't fall off. I'm pressing charges. My name is about to be on this store.
New life, new mind, all things behind. I'm feeling so brand new, baby. Everything new, baby.
What is up to all of my kings and queens? It's your girl Alexus Crown here, and I am back with another video for you. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to join the royal family. Also hit that notification bell so you don't miss an upload when I post. Alright, so let's get started. So first I want to start off by giving a shout out to HARASSED. Shout out to you, girl, for being a part of the notification squad. Y'all hold it down. Y'all be liking and commenting before the video is even up for 5 minutes. So y'all loyal. Thank you, HARASSED, for being a part of the notification squad. I wanted to open up with the scripture of the week. Usually, you know, I just put it in my description box, but I actually want to say it and read it and start incorporating that in my videos and not just in the description box, because sometimes people don't even read the description box. Be sure to check out the scripture of the week, which is Proverbs 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. So make sure that you're checking on your friends and family, and you're always praying for them and keeping them in your heart and in your prayers. So it is my first official Q&A. If you asked a question in this Q&A, then, you know, consider yourself a part of an elite group of people who are part of my first Q&A, and I love y'all so much for that. Thank you for participating, and I will get started answering y'all questions. So the first question says, it's by Black Tea Bunny 89, and she says, I've been natural for about a year now, and I've never did the big chop. I simply transition and I don't trim my ends. Is it bad that I took this route and that I don't trim my ends? Is it bad that you transition? No, it's not bad at all. But I will say that I'm not sure how you're transitioning into natural if you don't trim your ends, because the only way to fully go natural is you're going to have to cut off the relaxer. Even if you transition and you grow your hair out to 40 inches and 20 of those inches are still relaxed, you have to cut that those 20 inches off. So I transitioned, but I cut away as I was transitioning, so I slowly cut the relaxer off. So I would say in general, no, it's not bad to transition. But like I said in plenty of my videos, especially in my how to transition video, you're going to have to cut your hair at some point to cut the relaxer off. And it is bad that you don't trim your ends, because your ends are the oldest part of your hair, and if they continue to break, they're just going to split all the way up your hair, and then that part of your hair is eventually going to fall out. And if you have damaged hair all around your hair and your ends are constantly splitting, you are not going to retain growth. So if you want healthy hair and length, then you're gonna have to trim your ends. And there's plenty of videos that you can look up about people showing you and teaching you how to do that. Do you still live at home or by yourself? I currently live with my mother and my sister. I am saving up because I don't want to be one of those people who have to move out and then call their parents for help, and move out, then have to move back home, then move out, then have to move back home. Once I move out, I'm out. Like, I want to be prospering and I'm gone. I ain't no coming back. So, and I know people who have done all three: moved out, prospered, moved out, having to move back home, going back and forth, and moved out, and who are just struggling. And I don't want to be the two. I want to be the prospering one. So I'm still at home saving. What do you think about the people that try to push the you should get a perm agenda? Tivia Joseph said, Tivia, I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but I would say try to understand why they're pushing that agenda, because honestly it's probably more deep rooted than you realize. Try to understand them, then try to educate them, and then if they're still, you know, saying ignorant things or pushing the you should get a perm agenda, then just leave it alone, because you can't change a person who has their mind made up. You can try to educate them, but it's their choice to change their mindset. So if they want to stay you should get a perm and they think it's better, whatever, but try to educate them on the health benefits of going natural, and, you know, the growth and the thickness. It's just a whole experience. But if they don't want to listen, you can't force them, so I wouldn't even worry about that. Eating Gradenson said, how old are you? I am 24 years old. Are y'all watching my videos? Because some of these questions, I'm just like, But then I'm like, oh, these probably some of my new subscribers. So y'all loyal. What are some pieces of advice you have for high school freshmen? High school is a joke in itself, okay? No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Anyways, oh yeah, they did say high school freshmen. Pieces of advice that I would give high school freshmen is don't become attached to the friends that you make in high school, because majority of the time, the people that you know in high school, you're not going to know years from now. Like 5 years post graduating high school, you're probably not even going to be talking to half those people anymore. You're probably not even going to keep up with their lives. But I will say, focus on a more positive note, focus on your grades, because if college is something that you want to do, going to a university post high school, your transcript is going to matter, and it really starts to matter in 9th grade. So you want to make sure that you're staying focused on school. You know, there's gonna be drama, there's gonna be mess, there's gonna be laughs, there's gonna be good memories, but high school is not the peak of your life. A lot of people, when you're in high school at that age, think that high school is the climax of your life, when really you're just getting started. You're just hitting the tip of the iceberg in high school. And you have so much growing to do. You're going to meet so many more amazing people. So don't be heartbroken if that girl or boy breaks your heart, or if that friend stops talking to you, because you're going to make good, beautiful friendships in college or on the job and as you get older. So stay focused on your grades. Make them count. The decisions that you're making now will affect the rest of your life. So just take it slow, take a breather, and focus on the right things. That would be my advice. Kayla Savage, hey girl. Kayla said, you inspired me so much. I've been natural for almost a year now. My hair is healthy and getting long, but today I got in class, compared my hair to pelvic hair and called it nappy, but looking at your videos inspires me to push through and love myself no matter what. Hey Kayla, first off, this joker in your class, I don't know what ethnicity he is, but regardless, it doesn't matter. Black people, I'm assuming you're black if you have kinky coarse hair, but you could, whatever. Coarse hair has always been the butt of the joke, just like dark skin has always been the butt of the joke since the beginning of time, literally. It's been brainwashed in us that fair skin is more beautiful and looser, fair hair is more beautiful, when that's not the case. Pelvic hair, pelvic hair is super, super coarse, it's super, super tight ringed and things like that. But honestly, I would say just ignore him. You said he made fun of you in class, so I'm assuming that you're still in some type of school system where there's middle school, juniors, high, elementary, high school, college, whatever. Like I just told the last person, school isn't the climax of your life, and it's not the peak of your life. And I wish I would have grabbed onto this when my older brother told me this, but it's so true. Have these people that you know, especially the class clowns, the popular kids that don't pay attention in class and things like that. After high school, their life, it's bad to say, but majority of people who fit those stereotypes of class clowns, class skippers, all of that, their life goes downhill. So you just need to focus on being positive, spreading love, and just try to avoid him, because you don't want to pop off. You don't want to risk getting in trouble yourself, so just try to avoid him. Your hair is beautiful, I'm sure it is, and I'm sure that you are on your journey to getting longer, healthier hair. So just ignore this clown, because he probably not going to be doing nothing with his life years from now, unless God says otherwise. And I'm not wishing bad on him, but his mom probably has coarse hair, nappy hair. If he saw for real, that's the thing. Black men and women, or people with coarse hair and things like that, it's like usually they're talking about people with dark skin, or they're talking about people with nappy hair, but it's like your mom, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, somewhere down the line had this type of hair, had this type of skin, and yet you're talking about it. That's self-hate. So you don't love yourself, in all honesty. But you don't want to go that route with him. Just ignore him. Just try to avoid him. And he gonna be mad when your hair is down your back because you've been healthy with it and letting it be natural, and his girl hair, and she ain't got no edges when them tracks ripping her hair out. But again, we gonna keep it cute and classy and just say ignore him. But I'm glad that you are still sticking with your natural hair journey, girl. And message me on Instagram anytime if you want to talk. Asia Daniel said, hey Alexis, what do you recommend for people with type 4 hair who have box dyed their hair and is now experiencing breakage? I already do protein treatments once a month. Asia Daniels. Girl, Asia, let me tell you something. I've box dyed my hair plenty of times, and my hair couldn't take it. I would say, if you're gonna get your hair dyed, get it dyed professionally. And still, if you get it done professionally, that does not guarantee that it will be healthy, because I have a good friend who beautiful curl pattern, but she's dyed her hair so much, literally it started to alter her curl pattern. Like, people think that dye doesn't alter your curl pattern when it actually does. Like, it can straighten your curl pattern out. Anyways, I would say dye it back and get as much of it you can trimmed off, because box dye is not healthy for your hair. People will try to argue and say, oh, you can do henna, you can do this, you can do that. It's still chemically altering your hair to a certain extent, to a certain degree. So unless you don't care, you have super short hair, you don't care about if it's damaged and all that. Some people don't care. But I personally never had a positive experience with box dye, so I can't give you advice on how to maintain healthy hair during that journey, because my hair was not healthy. I had to re-dye it black and cut most of it off, like as far as like trimming. If you can't, go back to your original hair color and get a good trim, and you know, keep doing what you're doing as far as the protein treatments. Okay, Cynthia Ken said, do you have a boyfriend? What's some of your favorite Christian music? Also, you should do a twist out routine. Actually, I do have a flat twist out routine, Cynthia. It was my second ever video on my channel. It's actually pretty good for my second video. You should go check it out. Wait, it's either my first video or my second video. It's like flat twist out tutorial, but I'll do like a regular twist tutorial if you want to see that. I kind of did one. Oh no, that was a braid out. Okay, I'll do a twist out tutorial for you, girl. Okay, do I have a boyfriend? No, I do not have a boyfriend. I've dated, but I'm not really focused on that right now, because I'm intentionally dating, meaning I'm dating to marry, and if I see signs, or if it's not working out, it's not adding up, or they don't want to be celibate, they're not following God, then you can't really get to me unless you go to my Father first, which is God. So what's some of your favorite Christian music? I'm actually still building up my Christian music playlist, but this artist Glow, his name is GLO, and he is amazing. The intro to my theme, like little intro, the song to my intro is a Christian song. It's called New Things. Yeah, New Things. And it's about the scripture, once I found it, it's about like Ephesians something, and it was like God has given you a new life and a new mind, so you're made new and you're made whole through him. So let me see if I can play like new life, new mind, old things behind.
I'm feeling so brand new, baby. Everything new, baby. New life, new mind.
Like, it goes like that. So Glow is a really good artist. You should download his music. DJ Quality said, have you ever gotten in a fight? With my older brother growing up. I got into this fight with this girl, and I want to say it was like 7th grade. No, it was like 6th grade. But I wasn't trying to fight her. I just like, I mean, it sounds terrible, but I was walking around the class and I like stuck a pin. Like I like stuck a pin like on the back of her neck, like that. And like, she was my friend, like we was cool, but I was just like walking around, just messing around. And then as I was walking off, she got up and she like hit me in the back of my head. So I don't know if we classify that as a fight. And then the teacher like stopped us, got in between us, and told us to go to the office. And I was just like, okay. And we started being friends after that. This is Hannah E. Hey, Hannah E. This video getting kind of long, so I might have to cut out half of these off. I'm going to do 3 more, and then we're going to have a part 2 for the juicy questions. Hannah E said, I just wanted to say, first off, I really enjoy your videos. You seem to be a very genuine and personal person. I am. People on social media low-key fake. you got to remember that actually people in life can be fake sometimes. But what you don't want to do is idolize people on social media, because being an influencer, I have good days and I have bad days, and we only show y'all what we want y'all to see. That's why when I have bad days sometimes I try to tell y'all, because I never want y'all to idolize me, especially on Instagram, and think that I'm more than what I am. I'm just a servant of God who makes videos and, you know, tries to do things for the kingdom of God. I have sad days, depressed days, happy days, like, so, but I am a pretty genuine person. Thanks, Hannah. You seem to be a very genuine and personable person. My question I want to ask is, do you think you'll ever dye your hair? And if so, what color? Again, I did a live, I'm talking about dyeing my hair, but it was like spontaneous, so not a lot of people watched it. And then I made it private after like a while, but I have dyed my hair multiple times, like 4 times, and I got damage every time. Will I dye it again from this point on? Probably not. Like, no, because there's almost no way to maintain healthy hair when it's dyed. Too, at some point, let me say this, at some point you're going to have to trim and dye your hair back. That's just facts. Like, you can have healthy hair for 2 years, and on that 3rd year, it's like, oh my gosh, my curl pattern is changing. Oh my gosh, like, this is happening. At some point, you're gonna have to dye your hair back. That's just facts. So, will I dye from this point on? No. But if you want to hear me talk about my dye journey again, then I'll talk about it, because I dyed it like 4 or 5 times. Actually, I talked about it in my natural hair journey. Y'all should go watch that. Where do you shop the most? I love the clothes that I see in your Instagram pictures. Mia V. Girl, I shop all over the place. Like this shirt right here, do the righteous thing. And people give me stuff. So these were a gift. The shirt was a gift by Dope Faith Apparel. I shop all over the place. I shop at the mall, online, boutiques, do collaborations, thrift store. I shop all over the place, honestly. So it's just, but I don't shop a lot. I don't shop often. What's your dream car, and would you ever move to Chicago? Kevin Jackson said, you must have saw on my Instagram I was in Chicago 2 weeks ago for a photo shoot. But would I ever move to Chicago? I don't think so. Chicago really isn't my cup of tea as far as living there. It's kind of like, you know, like a, I would say like a, I don't know, I guess because we was in the downtown part, but from what I saw, I wouldn't necessarily want to move there. Nothing against people who live in Chicago. It's just like, I live in Dallas, Texas, and I feel like Dallas, Texas is like on the rise as far as like being like another like Atlanta, Houston, LA, New York, like, but in its own urban way. So there's nothing Chicago really has to offer me that I don't have in Dallas, Texas. Versus it has to be something like, oh, like the beautiful weather and the beaches in LA, or like the constant movement and like the livelihood in New York. It has to be something like that for me to just move out, or like something like that. So would I move out? No. My dream car, I've always wanted a Jeep, but there's not a car where it's just like, oh my gosh, like if somebody came up to me and said, what type of car do you want right now? I'll pay for it. I probably wouldn't have like a car in mind as far as like I wanted this my entire life type thing. But I've always wanted a Jeep when I was younger. What's your ethnicity? Sandy, DD. I don't want to butcher your name. Sandy said, my ethnicity, I'm just black. A lot of people ask me that, especially in the summertime when I wear makeup, because my skin tone kind of changes in the summer. And people ask me all the time, like, what's my ethnicity? I'm not sure, especially, actually, it was last summer. Matter of fact, it was last summer, in almost every one of my videos, somebody asked me, like, what are you, and all of that, and I'm just like, you know, I don't really know. I'm just black from what I know. I do have pictures of, like, ancestors and stuff like that, but it's so far down my lineage that I wouldn't even say that, like, I'm this or I'm that. Because it's not like immediate, like my grandparents or something like that. Somebody else said, what's your ethnicity? They asked twice. Just answered, how often should I moisturize when I have in box braids, and what should I use? I actually have a box braids video mini series where I did 2 videos dedicated about how to take care of box braids. I would maybe wash it once like every 3 weeks if you have box braids, depending on what you have. And as far as moisturizing them, I wouldn't do it too much because it's going to give them slip and it's going to make them not last as long. So just really focus on like doing dry shampoo or cleansing your scalp versus moisturizing. What was the hardest thing that you ever had to go through being natural? Love your channel. Love you and your channel. Your videos are a blessing from God. Thank you, Christy and I don't know. Thank you, Christy Ann. Sorry if I'm rubbing my nose a lot. My allergies on 10 million trillion. Alright, this video 20 minutes long, so this is gonna be the last question. What's the hardest thing that you ever had to go through being natural? One of the hardest things that I ever had to go through being natural, I worked at J. Crew. No shade to the J. Crew brand, but shade to this specific store in Dallas. So I had just got faux locks. First off, all of my jobs when I was like in corporate America, I would have like my hair in a ponytail, or if I would have it pressed out or something like that when I went in for the interview, or slicked back. But once I wore my hair like this or like out in the afro, they would all look at me crazy. And that like, you know, that was something hard to deal with because it's just like, it's 2018, like why are y'all still looking at me crazy because I have an afro? But that's just a small tea. The icing on the cake that was at the tea party was I got faux locks one time. And the first day that I showed up to work, she was Asian, or I don't know what she was. No shade to Korean people, Asian. I'm not sure what her ethnicity was specifically. But I didn't care for her because she wasn't a nice person. She was always throwing subtle shade. And I don't do shady people or passive-aggressive people. It's like, if you're going to be mean, just be mean. If you're going to be nice, be nice. But don't try to be shady and passive-aggressive. That's so annoying. Anyways, so I showed up to work and, you know, everybody's looking at me crazy or whatever. But it's like, whatever. I don't really care. It's a hairstyle. This hairstyle, the hair for my faux locks costs $100 alone. You think I'm going to take this out because y'all looking at me crazy? Absolutely not. So I'm working, and one of my friends comes, and he's just like, oh, like, I like your hair, whatever. And then we're talking at the register. She turns around and says, oh my gosh, like, how does that even happen? Like, how do you do that? Like, I'm surprised your scalp didn't fall off. Sis, what? My scalp didn't fall off. I'm pressing charges. My name is about to be on this store. Consider yourself J. Crew. It's now D. Crew, A. Crew. For Alexus Crown, it's going to be A. Crown now because you just tried it and now you didn't mess with the wrong employee. But yeah, she was just like, I'm surprised your scalp hasn't fall off. Like, that looks so heavy, like your neck, blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. And I was just so in shock that I didn't even say anything back. And I was just like, girl, what? And she was grown, like, she was grown, like, late 30s, so ignorance, like, has no age, has no color, but that is one of the hardest things I had to go through being natural. Also, yeah, just being, like, in corporate and job settings, being natural, like, I would say that's, like, one of the hardest things to deal with, because you're trying to be comfortable in how you normally wear your hair, but you don't, you know, you want to appease the corporate America look, but then, you know, natural hair is still low-key considered unprofessional, and it was just a lot. So all of my corporate jobs really made me aware of, like, I was natural, especially when I wore my hair a certain way. So that was super annoying. But aside from that, there's been other little stories, but that story happened, I want to say, about a year or two ago. And, you know, it still gets to me sometimes because it's just such a shock that people can be that ignorant. But, yeah, so that concludes part 1 of this Q&A. Unless y'all, it's already 25 minutes. We're not doing it any longer. So there are more questions, so I will have a part 2 as far as dating, premarital. Oh, I guess I'll end with this one. No, dating, premarital sex as a Christian. What else have y'all talked about? Straightening my hair. What else? Studying school. Rudest, craziest things. Am I a virgin? Yeah. So a lot of other things that we are going to talk about next time, but you have to watch this one to know what part 2 is going to be about. So I will see you guys in this video. Thank you so much for being a part of my Q&A. To everybody who answered questions, I will see you guys in the next video. Love you guys. Bye. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe and turn that notification bell on so you can be the next person I shout out, a part of the notification squad. Also, check out the scripture of the week, Proverbs 27:17. It's iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. So make sure that you're checking on your friends and family, and you're always praying for them and keeping them in your heart and in your prayers. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.